It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Now, this morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, thanks for coming back. We're celebrating the incredible career of one legend, Rene Naylor, the Springboks' long-time physiotherapist. From historic World Cup victories to inspiring the next generation, she's been part of the heart of it all. Rene shares her journey and, of course, the highlights of an incredible career spanning over 16.635274 years with the Springboks. Rene, good morning.
Good morning, Carl.
What a absolutely incredible career you've had, honestly. And it's been, do you know what? When I watch a Springbok match, when I don't see you running onto the field, I get worried. I'm like, where's Rene? You've been part of the journey and part of this incredible team as well, with all those victories. And I must say, definitely in part, it's for you. It's actually something that has been with you for the ages. So I want to know about the journey so far. You know, 16.6532. I don't even know how long it's been. About 17 years with the Springboks. How has the journey been?
Yes, Carl. I mean, obviously in the last few weeks,
Yes.
I've been reflecting quite a bit, and it's been phenomenal
Good.
to have been part of this journey and just to have had a small impact and contributing to the success. Because, I mean, for our country, I mean, seeing hundreds, thousands of people come to the streets to just catch a glimpse. They waited for hours just to catch a glimpse of their heroes after that 2 World Cup victories. You realize what a symbol of hope the Springboks has become. And that, for me, I didn't think I'd live to see it.
And you did.
And yes, and that's probably the most special.
And you've enabled it. I will say that. Before we get on to a certain innovation that I know you've been part and parcel of, I want to talk to you about how lovely it is for you to give back. Your community is so important to you. You want people to walk with you. You don't want to say, I've done it because nobody else can. And I love that about your story. So why is that so important to you? For you as somebody, a physiotherapist, but to take it so much further, why is it important to you?
I think, firstly, you know, coming from the Cape Flats, a girl, you're not meant to be on the world stage. But I do believe we can, you know, we can defy the stereotype of what we're supposed to be and become. And you can write your own story.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously I'm grateful that I had the opportunity. And I'm hoping that young girls globally get the opportunity in a male, you know, dominated environment, because I believe that, you know, women can make impact.
Definitely.
And that's what's important for me.
I love the fact you said that, because you know what, the one thing that I struggle with is when people say, oh no, women need that seat at the table. And for me as a man, I always think, why are you looking for a seat at a table that you already own, ladies? You need to take on that entire task that you're doing and look at people like you and get inspired. We need more mentors, and you are just one of them that I think is absolutely incredible and any young woman can look up to. So thank you for that. And also, in a space where it's so male-dominated, innovation seems to be, oh, let the guys figure it out, we'll be fine. But you are part of a certain profiling system that I think is groundbreaking as well. How did that come about?
Yes, thanks for chatting about that, because often people, even my own family, think that my job is just running on the pitch.
No.
And giving some water to the guys and checking on them.
Yes.
But our role as a physiotherapist is not just managing injuries, but actually a lot of it is injury prevention. And that's my passion, is how do we prevent the injuries from happening? How do we keep the player on the pitch? And also for the coach to be able to select from 80% of his top players that he wants to use. You want to achieve that. And that's why the injury profiling system came about, where we basically assess a player and work out what is your injury risk. Are you at high risk for your ankle, your knee, your hamstring? Tell the player. And it also empowers. I think, you know, with this new mindset within the Springbok team is about empowerment. And you want to empower a player to have body awareness and to know what's happening in his body. Where am I more at risk for injury, and what do I do to actually prevent it? And that's how that well, it's been evolved over 20 years.
But it's great, though, and I think it's something that's so powerful. I mean, we've seen the incredible comebacks of a Siya Kolisi, and we've seen so many injury doubts that are no longer doubts because of your work, and I think that's fantastic. And I know that it's a very, very long journey, and it's tough in there, and I can only imagine the stories you could tell. But now the story to tell is your own, and what's next for you going into the stage of your life? I'd love to know.
Yes, like I said, you know, it's hard to be in this team environment.
Yes.
And it's hard to be out of it.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that this is the right time for me to venture out. And I feel I've gained a lot of experience in medical management, in what makes teams perform, what are the important qualities in terms of strategy and leadership, performance in elite environments, you know, competitive environments. And I'd like to share that.
I think it'd be great. Would you ever go to another team? You know, when I say that, I mean not only a team, but how about NFL, NBA?
Let's wait and see what happens.
Okay.
Let's wait and see.
You're so tight-lipped. I feel like something's on the table, but you don't want to tell me, and I can understand. But just one last thing. You've pushed through an industry that has been quite tough to be taken seriously as a woman. And I want to know if you could, to any other young person, in fact, a young woman getting into physiotherapy, getting into their own space, what helped you say, I'm going to push on the next day, and I'm going to be my own authority, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to own this? What would you want to say to them?
I'd want to say to young girls that don't stop dreaming, but it's going to take hard work, and always be true to yourself. Authenticity is really key.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Don't betray yourself in the journey.
Rene, you haven't betrayed anybody. You have served our country so beautifully, and thank you so much for your time here today. We're not going to let you go, though. We're going to put you to work, which is very important. But thank you for your service. I'm going to say that, really. It's been amazing to watch.
Thank you so much, Cole. Thanks for having me.
Rene Naylor, this is an incredible individual and one of our amazing South African ambassadors here today. And we're going to keep her around till about 9 o'clock. She doesn't know that yet, but we are going to do stuff. We might cook, we might do some fitness, we might do everything. We might play a game, Carissa.